Okay, welcome to CricketBatInfo. This is Mark here. I've switched laptops from the other computer and I'll try and be a little bit more animated and smile a little bit more. What I thought I'd do today is I got this footage of these two ton player bats and it didn't really work out for me that well. They were in plastic when I did the review, and every time I move them you just hear them crackling and carrying on. So I thought I'd play the video for you and maybe speak over the top of it or wait till part of it finishes. If you've got any questions, put them in the live feed. I'll be monitoring it on another device, which I'll just check now. And let's have a look how it went. So this is basically, I get raw footage from the cameras and I'll mix them together. It takes me hours to put together, but this is just basically the raw footage. I'm going to put a little bit of background music on so you can hear that. And this is basically the video. So basically I was in the position of to what I was supposed to do with the video. Actually, that music is really loud in my ears. I'm going to mute that. So yeah, basically these two player bats came in, and one is the Seat profile for Rohit Sharma, and the other one looks to me to be just a standard ton player bat. The Seat one's got the round toe. Very different shapes. You can see there are many grains. Because they were in the plastic, I was a little bit, I don't know, I lost my sort of energy about reviewing bats when I couldn't actually take them out of the plastic. But I agreed to it, and then I sort of had doubts about it. You can see there the player bats, the actual look of them. You've got knots and things all over the front and the back. I'll just check my feed to make sure everything's coming through correctly. So you can definitely hear me at the moment. Yeah, you can see the Rohit Sharma ton player edition is the top one, and the bottom one is a standard, what I would call a, we call it Jatin Serene profile. So you'll see that when it turns around. The new cameras had a few issues focusing. It's pretty good. I mean, that one's got about 10 grains. The other one's probably got 14 to 15. You can see the round toe on it and the much higher middle on the top one. They were left in the plastic with the stickers on, so you can read all the barcodes. Typical ton sort of thing. There's no laser etching on the sides. Laser etching obviously on the back. Standard stickers for the ton player editions, which is that blue color scheme. You can see there with that top one, when I turn it around, look how big that Jatin Serene profile is. It's just massive. That bat was, I think, 2.9, just over 2.9. You'll see when I weigh it. It was really big, actually. I didn't even bother to put the measurements on it because it was all written on the other side of the plastic, which you'll see when I turn it over. But that was a big bat, and I love the way the spine sort of carried all the way back into the handle. Nice thick toe. None of them fitted through the gauge, as you can see there. That one was about 44, 45 millimeters on the edge, and with the other one, probably about the same. So if these, yeah, that one's 45 mil, and what is that, 111, 77, 13 grains. I'll just check the feed, see if anybody's talking to me. Yeah, it says it's live now. Turn that down. I'll have to change the thing on that. It says that this is the Sunday live stream for the 7th of April. So it looks like 5 of you are watching at the moment. So yeah, I went through it, measured that bat. I can't really switch the audio on because it's just crackle, crackle, crackle. 2.97. That bat was really big for its weight. Really nice bat. I did like that one. And then the other one, which is the Rohit Sharma profile, they had a 43mm edge, higher middle as you can see there, more duckbill in it, and much heavier. So that one came out at about 211. So what was written on the stickers was pretty much what the bats were. These ton player bats, I'm starting to get the feeling, if they're charging 40,000 to 50,000 Indian rupees, you're heading up towards the $800-900 mark there for a bat that's made to a shape. I'm a little bit unsure about the value in it. These bats both really pinged well, and I'll turn the microphones on when I tap them up. But I'm not 100% sure, as I said when I did the video, that you would actually get better value than just picking out their top of the range, like a Gladiator or something like that. That one had really nice grains through the toe, as you can see there. I was very impressed with that bat. It had nothing written on the toe. I called it the Jet and Serene profile. A little bit of colour, not bleached or anything like that. But yeah, it was a really nice bat. So yeah. And obviously the stickers were still on because I couldn't take the wrapping off. The handles were standard ton. There was nothing special about them. They were just round, probably medium feel, standard sort of thing. This one I put the gauge on. It didn't go all the way up. Obviously it's 43mm. You can see there with the spine height, it would have probably been under 67mm. And then you got Rohit Sharma written on the bottom, so that's his profile. It's obviously a profile from a different year because it wouldn't have fitted within the specs for this year. Interesting enough, I've had the option of getting in See It Bats to review. One hasn't come through yet. So yeah, that was a nice bat. I think on pickup, 211 is not really my weight, so I sort of, when I pick up 211s, I don't really get too excited. It picked up even, maybe a little bit lighter, but that bat there, because that spine ran all the way into the handle and had so much weight towards the hands, it actually picked up to me like a bat in its 2.8 to 2.9 sort of thing. That one had a much longer middle. When I tap them up, you'll see the difference in the two. They have a nice bow on it, as you can see there as I hold it up. And I'll just pause that for a second. And we'll get through to where I actually tap the things up. That there, I was basically comparing bats to standard length bats. So generally with these bats, they're slightly taller, and that brings the center of gravity higher towards the hands. It improves the pickup ever so slightly. So I was comparing that there with my Grey Nichols Ultimate. I keep bringing that into the shot every chance I can get. So here we go, probably with the tap up. I'll turn the sound on, and we'll have a listen to that. as I muck around with the microphone. Yeah, very impressive with it because I kept knocking it in and tapping it up. By the time I finished that review, I reckon that bat was fully knocked in. I just kept whacking it. Yeah, I actually really liked that bat. The middle probably extended just above the toe all the way up to the stickers, and I liked it more actually than this shape. Not that I could probably get any benefit personally out of using a shape that has a low middle, because I tend to hit in the mid to high areas, so this shape probably would be better for me, but you know, everybody has their preferences. So we'll keep going with that. Just checking the live chat and somebody's come in. Ahmad Reza. Hi, is that for sale? Well, I think possibly the owner might be putting it for sale. He can comment on YouTube and the Facebook thing himself, because he basically bought them, wasn't sure whether he was going to keep them. He's actually got a really big collection. There is a guy I've mentioned from time to time, and he really has been heavily into collecting bats in the past few years, and all these ton bats he's purchased recently. He purchased a lot of those grey nickels, and because he buys so many bats and he really enjoys getting them reviewed, sometimes he's not sure whether he's going to keep them or sell them on. So yeah, I'll leave that up to him to post whether or not he's keen to sell them. Personally, I'm not 100%. Put it this way, the purpose of this channel is to show you bats that you can obviously find for yourselves on the internet, to give you a big variety of bats to choose from. But ultimately, the choice of what bats you purchase in life to use in cricket is yours. I'm not here to advocate for any particular seller or tell you what bats are better than others. I don't really think that that's really my role to try and influence you either way. I just want to show you a bat at a time and say whether I think it's good or it could have been improved. Every piece of willow is different, whether it's got 13 grains or whether it's got 10 grains. Every piece of willow plays different. So I'm not going to give you the sales pitch to say, yeah, do this one or do that one. That's not what I've ever been about. It's just purely the hobby of reviewing bats and keeping a video record and sharing it with people. I can't afford to keep heaps of bats. I've got two sitting next to me. But there are people who really value their collections, and they want to show them to others, to share, the wealth, which I think is a great idea. And these bats may be for sale, but I'm not actually the salesperson. I'm not going to get into that position of you guys negotiating through me. I'm not the concierge in these things. So if there's a comment left in the comments, you're quite welcome to look at those. Do you recommend a JP Gavin bat I've got from Home Slice? I'll get to that. I will get to that. I've got something to share on JP Gavin after I get through these, so you hang on. do use the chats, guys. While I'm live, it's the time to actually ask me questions. What else have we got? So I've tapped them up. I really did like the bats. I liked the top one more than I liked the Rohit Sharma. I know there's, people think, oh, but it's a Rohit Sharma, oh, but it's a Virat Kohli. You should like this one or whatever because the pro uses it. Yeah, but every bat's individual. It doesn't matter who uses it. It's really, as I try to stress to people, it's about you. It's about what bat you want, not what bat the pro gets. The bat the pro gets may not work for you. A $300 grade 3, grade 4 bat might be perfect for you because it's got the middle in the right spot and it's got a nice blemish that it pings off, and you don't have to spend $900. But if you wanted to spend $900 on a bat, I'm not going to judge you on it. I do have strong feelings on using really expensive bats to play 2020. It's okay for the pros because they get given them, but you guys spending $900 and slogging with a $900 cricket bat is just, I'd probably say maybe you're better off getting a 3-pound GN Giant and just go and slog on a tree trunk. But that's just my general opinion. So let's see where we got with this review. There were 2 videos. The new camera splits the videos up into 2 segments, so I'll just get the other one up. And so I was obviously talking about the shape. Yeah, I was unsure about the Rohit Sharma shape. If that's the Rohit, well, it is the Rohit Sharma shape. Any bat maker can reproduce a bat shape. Whether or not the handle is the same is a different question. But most of those pro players, they tend to actually use not necessarily the brand that they're using. They just get the stickers and they put them on. Sorry to say. I know that Gunnar Moore will jump all over me and go, oh yeah, but our guys use our Gunnar Moores, and that's probably true. That probably they do, but I'm not 100% sure with a lot of the subcontinent bats that what you're seeing is what's actually in their hands. Particularly with MRF, they tend to outsource all their bat manufacturing to other people. So yeah, that's basically it. There were 2 ton player bats that came through. I couldn't really do a heck of a lot because they were in the plastic, and I don't think I want to do bats in plastic ever again, to be honest. It just made so much noise. Yeah, I don't know. It was like a latex orgy. There was so much noise going on. So that's that for that. All right, let's get rid of that. Somebody asked a question about JP Gavin, so I've actually got some news on JP Gavin. So you would remember that I had, oh come on you, get on the right page. So I had this bat, which he sent me. That was the Secret Willow bat, and you've seen 3 different reviews on it. I cleaned it up, put a new scuff sheet on it. Came out quite good. I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously, it's got my CricketBatInfo sticker there. That was 2.9.5. Probably felt in the hands maybe 2.8.5. So every year for and look at that full shape. It's just fantastic. Yeah, the grains aren't straight through the toe, and it's not English willow grown in England. It's what Josh is calling secret willow. But I mean, look, it's a really well-crafted bat. Josh doesn't press his own bats, he shapes them, but I think he does a really good job, and good on him for supporting CricketBatInfo and supporting you guys by sending bats through that you can actually see on a long-term review. He really wanted to get my genuine thoughts on the durability of these bats, and I was really impressed with the JP Gavin. I said that at the time. So what I've actually done with this, I had the opportunity. I spoke to Josh, said, what do you want to do? Do you want me to send this back? And There was thoughts probably a few months ago that if it got sold, then he would want half the things to cover his costs. But he said, no, you can have it, do with it what you want. So what I actually did, which I'll bring up another photo. I'll just go into my photos here. I play for... Oh yeah, mug. Get on that page. I play for Athelston Cricket Club, and there's a few of the blokes that I play with. I'm not in this picture, obviously. Some of these guys are in my own team. There's Mitchell and his dad Matthew. And where's my friend Andrew? There he is there. So a few of my blokes in my team are there, but actually a really nice club. Got some junior teams as well, and we play in obviously Adelaide. And I thought, well, I'll donate this particular bat to the club. And we had sort of like a bid-off thing where a bid came in, and I was satisfied for a used cricket bat, which is what it was, that I'd knocked in, that I could keep an eye on, that somebody at the club could purchase it. If anything went wrong, I'd be there to fix it. So the club got a donation, and the player actually got this bat. So the player is here, picking up his bat, and he's obviously standing there awkwardly in front of my camera. So yeah, that was it. Basically, that bat went to my cricket club as a donation, and somebody in my team who made nearly 300 runs at 70 last season won the batting trophy. He'll be very happy with that. So that's the story of that bat. Now I do actually have a few other bits and pieces. When you're doing videos so often, sometimes you get to a point where you can't actually use every bit of footage you get through. So the Lavery Wood went up for sale just recently. I sold that for $250, and that went to Darren Cooper in Newcastle as a bat to add to his collection. I cleaned it up a little bit more than that. But yeah, if you remember, I bought that bat as a long-term review to see what it would be like. Obviously, I really liked the look of that profile. It was just so distinctive. The way that the wood's been taken out near the handle, if I can get that shot, it just looks really cool. The way that it just sort of narrows down through the splice to a point there, which is 33 mil. It's actually lower there than it is at the handle. Just excuse me for 1 second. So yeah, I paid $350 for that. I knocked it in. I sold it for $250 plus travel, so I lost money on it. Generally, my thoughts on that bat, as it was then, it had, because of that amount of scooping that it has on it, which you will see somewhere here. Maybe not in this shot. Anyway, it does have about a 4 mil camber. Fairly high spine. I think it was about 63 mil. But not really thick edges as such. You can see the scooping there. The actual middle is very much centered in this sort of area from just above the featherlight to just below the CricketBatInfo. So you've got a smaller area to work with. Anything down towards the toe feels dead. And because of that carbo cane handle, it really jars up through there. Maybe that was a poor decision on my part. Maybe I should have just gone standard handle. But the thing is, as this bat plays in, it would just get better. And I do actually think that, but unfortunately, I'm not one to really want to use too many bats in a given season. Because I think, as much as I've done it in the past, it can mess with you a bit. Particularly, I took that bat out for an over, and it just didn't feel right. I faced a couple of balls, and I swapped over for my regular bat. So it didn't get any match use. It got net use. So, and then I sold it. I thought, well, I'm not going to use it as my regular match bat or my backup bat because I've got the grey nickels and I've got the other Lavery Wood, so I'll just sell it and get back what I could. So, well done to Darren Cooper. It's a lovely bat, really well made. I did clean it up a little bit more than that, but Darren has got all the gear if he wants to clean that up a little bit more. So, yeah, that should arrive to him tomorrow, and I thank him very much for supporting the page. I don't sell bats as such, but I do from time to time buy bats. So that's the Lavery Wood that I replaced it with, and you can see there just how much thicker the edge is compared to the Featherlight. That one's a low density bat, whereas that one's just standard density, and obviously with lower density you get more volume for the same weight. It doesn't necessarily mean that the bat's going to play tremendously better, but it's a lot psychological. This one just felt a little bit better where I hit the ball, which is about there. So I was happier to use that, and plus the fact I went and got my own stickers for it and changed it. I actually re-gripped that one because the Lavery Wood actually glue the grip on just near the splice there. So if you ever buy a Lavery Wood and you go to replace the grip, just beware that you're going to lose it because it's glued down at that area there. So it will just tear. So probably best to just leave it there and not fiddle around with it like I do. So that's a little bit on the Featherlight. That one's gone. I'm left now with Lavery Wood, Grey Nickels, and there's another bat, the CA 15,000 Players Edition, which you guys haven't seen since I reviewed it. I've got some more questions. Saw my first Lavery Wood tonight. They are really impressive. That's Tom Carlisle. Well, that's good to know, Tom. I actually do think that Lavery Wood make a decent bat. They do say, look, they're honest in their videos. They say exactly how they press them and prepare them. So I think, you're not going to be shocked if it's a bat that's harder pressed like a Gunnar or let's say some of the other harder pressed bats. That Charlie French was a harder pressed bat. That they basically last longer and they peak after a time. Home Slice 42, what's your favourite cricket brand and what are some of the bats I should look at buying next season? Well, that sort of goes back, Home Slice, to what I was saying is I don't really want to influence you guys as to what to buy next season. You guys follow your hearts and what your budget is. I do think that you should actually check out the smaller brands. I think you should actually look at who's making bats locally to you and go and see them. Don't just go to the shops. The shops will have a bigger variety, but they may not have something that perfectly fits you, whereas going to a bat maker who's established, who knows what they're doing, have a look at their reviews, talk to people and guide yourself there. I think it's actually a worthwhile thing to go the custom bat experience. Would you recommend Viking Cricket? I did review a Viking Cricket bat. Viking Cricket, from memory, this is the English one, not the Australian one. Viking Cricket and Jedi are the same bat maker. So I think I did a Jedi review and I was a bit concerned about it being softly pressed, but I mean, after knocking Helfer Levers and Jedis and Vikings, I don't really have an issue with any of them. So yeah, I don't have an issue with Viking whatsoever. I don't have an issue with many bat makers. I do definitely have an issue, and I look straight into the camera as I say this, I do definitely have an issue with sticker brands who talk it up and don't actually look after their customers, just in it for the money. So yeah, there are those guys around. Nick Hill Mitra. I have an Aldred Odyssey G1. That's a nice bat. Custom made. Knocked in for about 6 to 7 hours. Played in for about 6 to 7 nets. Then started my new season. But the bat sounds weird off the bat. Any idea why? You're going to need to give me a little bit more information. Weird how? weird as in tinny, like it's. See, a lot of bats. The one thing I'll tell you about the orchard bats. All right, let me see if I can find some photos in my. Yeah, let's have a look through my collection. I actually had some orchards, as you remember. I've reviewed them in the past, and one particular one I took the binding off. And when I took the binding off, it was 1 ounce worth of binding and glue, and that just shows how much care Paul puts into making his bats. But obviously, the more glue and the more how heavy it is obviously going to counterweight a little bit better. But that glue takes a while to actually separate and play in. So yeah, I think as far as an orchard would be, I definitely think you probably have to give it a little bit more time. And play it in. Talk to Paul. He's not going to bag you. Okay, Nick has put something in. On the contrary, got an orchard butterfly, Icarus. Ping and sound is much more amazing than the G1 I got. So why is it anyone would pay high amounts for that? Well, you've actually answered the same question, Nikhil Mitra, that I've been trying to answer for people who want to listen for ages, and that is that the quality of how a bat's going to play has nothing to do with how it looks. Yes, an expensive bat. Generally, you'd think the bat maker has tapped it up and knows exactly how it's going to play. But there are some diamonds in the rough, and I've had bats that I remember buying 2 B3s, and I had both sitting on the thing, and I went out to bat with one, and somebody ran a bat out to me, said, somebody on the boundary said, stop playing with that one, it sounds like shit, and gave me my other bat, which I hadn't knocked in, so I just started playing with that, which was quite funny. And that was the bat that they didn't like was a regular bat, and they ran a butterfly out to me. So it's got nothing to do with looks. So yeah, next question. Hoppida. Have you had the chance to have one of the new 2019 Gunner Moors? Well, I have reviewed 2019 England. No. Let's have a look. Let's see if there's anything different there to what I'm used to. So we'll go to England's website. Oh, this is the Australian one. Hang on. Oh, no, this is the England one. Let's make sure that you're still seeing. Ooh, the Ben Stokes. Well, I've reviewed that one. That's the diamond. I had one. So, yeah, you'll find that on my website. What else have they got? Yeah, I generally find I was actually, because I've had a few Gunner Moors through. So let's not focus on the player editions. Player editions are just their top of the line LE grades in the player's shape. So the neon hasn't been changed. I haven't reviewed a neon, but I've seen plenty around. That bat is actually really popular. Obviously, that's the 555. So it's slightly shorter, I think. Oh, actually, no, this one's 555. I thought they used to be 540. The Zelos I haven't had through. Somebody I know has got a Zelos. Nor looks to me to be very similar to the Chrome, but I haven't done that. Mythos looks to be very similar to the Manor. I've obviously done the Haze before. So of this season, I've done definitely the Diamond and the Haze. It looks like the chat's going off here. So Mick is asking again about that Aldred G1. Sounds really tinny. So what I would say there, Mick, is depending on the grain structure, tight grains generally harder. And if you just got to wait for it to release. I would have thought tight grains generally play a lot faster, but if you've got an issue with it, take it to the bat maker and do a comparison. He'll tell you what you need to do. He may say knock it in a bit longer. Every bat is different, and 7 hours knocking by ball on a mallet compared to whatever might be different. But generally, it's not just knocking in the bat; it's actually the handle. That handle's got to give, and you will find with like the Australian-made GMs, Grey Nichols and those CAs that I've tried. Because they put more inserts or they take the binding off, they tend to play in a lot faster, but they don't last. I've seen pictures of those Gunner Moores, the Grey Nichols, the Australian ones, which have just basically fanned out on the inserts and opened up, had to be fixed and re-glued. Tom Carlisle, have you seen any photos of the new Australian Grey Nix Ultra that Joe Burns and Curtis Patterson use? I don't know. Let's have a look. GN Ultra. That's not helping me. GB Ultra. Let's just go to their website. So this is the Australian one. There's the man himself. English Willow. Ultra. So you got an Ultra there, which is Players Edition, Ultra Ready Play. I'll have a look at that one. You know, one thing I'll say is a lot of people have shown me the player bats. Oh, that's the Mitch Marsh one. I don't really like that. It looks like somebody's gone into Word 95 and done like one of those word art things to put Mitch Marsh on the front. Sorry, that's my honest opinion right there as I look at it. What else? The Max Player Edition. Yeah, see that? I don't know about that one. I actually like the stickers on the old one, to be honest. Stickers are so personal, you know, like there's no point asking me whether I like a particular bat on stickers. It's my personal preference I'm going to give you, and it might be dated and old-fashioned. Yeah, I can't find it there. There's a few player editions on there, but $900. I generally say that with the player editions, they look very similar. Mitch keeps going here. He's got 7 hours knocking with a Lignum Vitae Hercules mallet. Oh, where did you get that? That might be the bat that the mallet that I use. So well done. I'm sure Les at LVR's Mallets will be very happy to hear that you purchased one of those. Yeah, 7 hours on a LV is too long, man. I wouldn't do any more than 2-3 hours. That's really long time. Remember when I've talked about knocking, I've talked about being progressive. You build it up, you build it up. I tend to knock with earmuffs on and I listen for a particular sound. So I wouldn't do any more knocking on that. You can actually knock a bat to the point that you actually compress it down too much. Knock the life out of it, particularly with a Lignum Vitae. I don't want to scare the crappers out of you. I would actually go and see Paul, and hopefully you bought it directly from Paul, and he might actually do something like just put it on the thing and just give it a sand back. You can actually sand back the bat a little bit to get the life back out of it if you've knocked it in too hard. Austin Robertson, what do you think about Focus Cricket? Market Focus Cricket, I think, does a pretty good job. He's actually, from what I hear, looking at establishing his own manufacturing in India. Sorry, this microphone's thing. So yeah, I've reviewed and knocked in. Sorry, this is going a bit weird. I've reviewed and knocked in a few Focus bats over the time. Some of them I've just got photos of. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think that the shapes are generally nice and full. Middles are mid to mid-low, traditional style shapes. So yeah, generally I didn't have any problem with them. Some of them used to be made by Robertson Sports. Then I think he went to England when he launched over in England, and he used a different manufacturer. I don't know who he's using now. All those guys make really good bats. So I've got here, obviously the Focus. I did a Raw. So yeah, I did that one. That one, was that the one that King of Clubs sent in for review? That was, if that is, that was a really nice bat. I like that. Yeah, that's that one. Yeah, I actually really like that bat. I'm not 100% on shorter blades, but yeah, it was a nice bat. I'm not worried about grains. Look at that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. But that thing pinged like anything. The reviews on the channel. So yeah, I actually rated that pretty high. And what was the next one? I got a Pure. So let's have a look at that one. So that's the Pure. And you can see there that when it was sent through, it had the bat care and preparation for play. That one, what they call the Performance Edition, so more grains, probably a lot more heartwood. Actually, that was like 7/8 heartwood. And it had that fuller sort of shape without the duckbill. So yeah, I don't mind Focus at all. I like they got nice curves on them. Sorry, bows. So yeah, yep. What else have we got here? He's partners with Phantom Cricket. Austin reckons that Focus Cricket is partners. I've really liked them, been using them for 2 years now. Oh, well done, Austin. Nikhil Mitra, from all willows I've received for knocking in, which bat maker do you feel consistently produces good bats? That's interesting. Look, all the blank bats I had come through, Tim Keeley made, they were all good. The early B3s pressed a little bit too hard, but the later ones been really good too. Obviously, the grey nickels have been pretty consistent. I didn't really find a huge difference between Australian and Indian grey nickels, despite what the Australian purists seem to think. I think you've just got to give them time. Not enough to justify potentially a big cost difference, but the other thing is with the Australian ones, they generally are much the same price as the Indian ones. So if you had the choice between buying the Australian one and the Indian one, and you lucked out and you got one that was made in Australia, you'd be pretty happy. This actually, the Pure was sent in by King of Clubs, and I got a photo there with my daughter because we both got hats. So I don't know if you can zoom that in. There's me and April wearing our King of Club hats. So yeah, I don't get a lot of merchandising from people, but I did get some hats. So April was very happy with her hat. What else have we got there? It's cool actually, this live chat and actually it working so I can read your comments. Where did you get the grip you use for your mallet? Oh, that's just an old Gun and More, what do they call them? Shock absorber grip. I just buy them off of eBay. They're old grips. I don't think you can get them anymore, but their new grips are pretty cool too. So yeah, just a Gun and More grip. That's all I use. Actually, I think the gold one that I put on recently might have been a Lavery Wood grip that came off of the Lavery Wood when I stripped that back. So yeah, I just reuse things. Thoughts on Woodstock cricket bats? Samo is beast. Samu's beast, or whatever you want to call yourself. Thoughts on Woodstock? I've only had one through, and it was just for a refurb. So I might have some pictures of it here. Let me have a look. No, it even precedes that. Yeah, I haven't had a Woodstock. So yeah, I don't really want to comment on a bat that I haven't reviewed, but Woodstock generally have been in the cricket bat reviews and playoffs in England on all the different magazines. Fairly, I think for the past 10 years they've been in a lot of those shootouts, but there's a little bit of thought process that a lot of the bat manufacturers sort of pay to get on those, so that the results may be skewed. I don't know, to be honest. Yeah, it costs them a lot to put their bats on those shootouts and those reviews. But the Woodstock bats, what I've seen on those reviews, they've all looked to be pretty stunning. So they send in their best bats. Whether you're going to get their best bat is questionable. I think they're all right. What's your honest opinion of my red and white and green atomic that I sent you the photos of late last year, Tom Carlisle? It turned out to be an amazing bat, by the way. Well, my memory is shocking, to say the least, Tom, so I'd have to look that up. Let's have a look. What are your thoughts on my bat? Tom. Tommy Carlisle, there you are. Let's have a look. Ooh, here we go. Hang on. That's an Omega. That's not an atomic. That's a Super Blade. Well, I've only reviewed one Omega, and it picked up like a dog. So, yeah, I wasn't too impressed with an Omega. But yeah, that's basically my thoughts. I haven't reviewed your bat, so yeah, I can't really comment on something I haven't reviewed. I'll get back to the comments in a sec. Let me finish up, see what I've got in my little treasure trove of reviews for processing. Oh, the Woodstock. I currently have a Woodstock Airstream, one of the best bats I've ever used. Now, the Woodstock Airstream is the one that did really well in the reviews. So, yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. Only problem with the Airstream is the concaving. What is that a problem? Who cares? Go up, Tommy says. Go up where? Let's have a look. Go up, go up, go up, go up, go up. Was there another bat there? No. No, Tommy, that's a thing. See if I got anything else. Tommy's obviously sent me through a few bats to look at. Load more. Let's see if there's any more here. I got to be honest with you. The Messenger app that comes with Google Facebook Pages is absolutely shocking. Anybody who uses Facebook Pages will tell you that it's crap. Even the actual online app things, they crash all the time. Yeah, I'm just showing him a bat there. See, I chat with people generally on the Facebook page, show them bats that are coming through, old bats that I've had. So, yeah, I can't help you there, Tommy. Maybe next time I'll look at that. I don't want to get bogged down too much on that. What do we got? Sorry. Mindful of time here. So this bat is coming through. You get a sneak peek of it, guys. This is a bat that I'm going to put a review up soon. A proper one, not a live stream. This is a Kookaburra. I've done the edits on the photos. That's the Kookaburra Black Edition. And the review is coming. This one is actually made in Australia, so that's all I'm going to tell you. It's a special custom order, and that review is coming soon. So you'll get to see that soon enough. I'm working on it. I've got all my little video footage there that I've got to put together and turn into something else. So yeah, it's a nice looking bat. There's a nice little side-on profile for you that will come out. Where is it? Come on, you piece of junk. Oh, it crashed. How about that? Windows sucks. Let's try that again. Yeah, so that's a side-on with the new camera. Tried a different lens on that. It's a little bit more fuzzy, so I'm not sure about that. So yeah, last thing before I close. Oh, hang on. I'll read those things in a second. I'm actually thinking about changing the page a little bit. I know I've got the Facebook page with all the photo albums and that, and I know I've got the YouTube stuff. I don't earn a lot from YouTube. The page is not about earning money, but I do have people who spend a lot of their money on buying bats for me to review. And what I was thinking is some sort of crowdfunding. I'm thinking of Patreon, and I haven't got any further with the idea. It's just an idea tossing around in my head about starting a Patreon page where you guys can support the content that I do, $1 a month or something like that, and that money would be actually used to go towards covering part of the freight costs for the people who send me the bats. It wouldn't actually go into my thing, but it's just a gesture. I obviously don't have the money to cover it, but that's what I'm thinking at the moment, is maybe thinking about a Patreon page. So yeah, what do we got here? But yeah, I haven't got anywhere with that, so it may not ever happen. And the other thing I do want to do coming up is use the live feed to do chats with bat makers rather than the heavy editing that I had to do. Now you've seen my face, I can't hide it anymore. You've got to, look down the camera and see just how ugly I am. What do we got? Sorry, Tommy, I'm not going to go further up. I'm going to keep going with this. What do we got here? We got Nick Hill Mitra. The amazing Icarus has now a gunner, in Paul's own words. Really good bats. I love supporting smaller bat makers, not the larger ones. And he's put his photos up on Google Apps. To be honest, I've posted that, but I reckon you should kill that, because what that's going to do is all the people who click on that to look at your photos, hopefully there's not too many, is going to come out of your bandwidth on your Google account. So I'll definitely look at it. I'll show it to the people now. Oh shit, no, not there. I've got to go on YouTube to do that. One sec. I'll show it to the people now. But I think you should kill that link after we've done this. Let's have a look at the live chat here. Not that. Where's the live chat? Okay, here's your photos here. Ooh. Okay, so people looking at these for the first. Oh, he's got his mallet in there. Cool. Your mallet's better than mine. I like how Les has improved all his etching and all that. So yeah, that's really nice. So you can see there
the butterfly stain there, and how they call that the butterfly stain because the stain actually, if you look at both ends, it looks like the wings of a butterfly. So yeah, what else have we got here? There's his mallet. Les actually keeps a record of all his mallets, and if one's stolen, he's told me once that because I have had like video conferences and I catch up with him, not for a while, but yeah, we've chatted online and spoken to each other. He's told me that he's actually caught somebody who stole one of the mallets and given it back to the owner. So all right, so Paul's got a new toe guard. That looks interesting. I don't have an issue with concaving, to be honest with you. It's about balance. That's what that's there for. I mean, your whole purpose in using a cricket bat is to learn to improve your game so much that you're hitting more of your balls out of the center of the cricket bat where the power is, rather than towards the edges where there's no power. There's more vibration and chance of damage. So, I don't have an issue with that. The Icarus has got the toe running all the way down from the handle all the way through to the toe. So that gives you a nice long, elongated middle, you could argue. And it's got nice thick edges too. So to create those thick edges, they've concaved. If he went convex, then you'd have 5mm lower edges. So you're rubbing Peter to pay Paul. That's the general thing with that. I would really genuinely say to you right now, get rid of that. Kill your things. I'll show them to people right now, but kill these off afterwards. What do we got here? Odyssey versus Ton. Okay, so this must be the grade 1. So that's the grade 1 Odyssey. Looks to be a pretty narrow grain, actually. Oh, no, it's not. It's not that. It's a grade 1, but it's not the player's grade. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 grains, yeah. Has it ever just occurred to you that maybe that bat's just not your shape? Maybe that middle's too high for you, like it's up here, and you might be hitting down here, so maybe that's why it doesn't feel right for you. You're not hitting in its power range, where this ton is much lower than where the power band is up here. Maybe that's all sorry, I hit the microphone. Maybe that's the issue that you've got there. Some bats just aren't suited to people. I generally recommend that if you're going to buy a bat, pick up your old bat and have a look where your concentration of all your red marks are. Oh, somebody just subscribed. And hello, Anil. And have a look at where all your red marks are and try and get your meat to be behind that area. It's simple. They even say that it doesn't matter what pitches you're on, high or low bouncing or hard wicket or whatever, you'll generally hit in roughly the same area because that's just you. It's your height, your swing, your timing. Generally, you'll hit in the same area. So that's a good piece of advice. Yep, we've all seen tons before. Tons of tons we've seen. Pardon the poor pun. I did it again. Oops, looks like the royalty-free music that lasted 20 seconds is wanting to charge me. So, what else have we got? Let's have a look at my live feed. And what do we got here? Tommy keeps saying it's there. Hey, it's LizCon from CBF. Hi, Liam. How are you? Good to see you, Liam. I'll put this in front of me so I'm sort of looking at the camera, not really. Oh, I'm not gonna thing, but I'm having a tinny today. There you go, a tinny. That's a boutique beer. It's an American pale ale, which is a bit hoppy. I'm not sure on American pale ales. Do you know about ADB? Austin Robertson says, yeah, Adelaide Bat Doctor. Yeah, I know Matt McCleary. And I know he made 1,000 runs for the season because he sent me the photo. He plays for Panorama, and I've been to his house once or twice, and he's got a beautiful Screaming Cat bat that he played with for years and years and years. But then he bought the 50 Plus, which was one of the first bats I reviewed. So, yeah, I know Matt. But I'm not what you call social with Matt. But yeah, he keeps in touch. So yeah, I do know him. 1 p.m. in the UK, Liam's saying. Newbury-esque toe guard. Yeah, definitely on that Aldred Newbury-esque. That's exactly what went through my head. Hey mate, resent you those photos. Would you like to take a look? Okay, so we'll have another look. Team selection round 5. I'm a Crows supporter. So, yeah. The 4 rounds in as a Crows supporter is like being a lifelong Carlton supporter at the moment. What am I doing? Inbox. Here we go. 13 people watching. That's a bit better than last time. You obviously can hear me, because last time was a bit of a joke. Chris White's also messaged me, so Chris is probably watching. Oh, this one, I remember this. This was that Synergy that was... You said it was an atomic, but it had different stickers on it. Yeah, I haven't seen that for a while. Yeah, look at the stickers on it. It's got like green and red, but it's got Synergy on it, but it's got the atomic stickers. And where's the other one? It dips down a little bit more. Yeah, I see it. That angle doesn't really show the middle position, but that's more closer to the original atomic. I think that the new atomic is mid-low now. They've actually lowered the middle a bit more. So, yeah, I don't know who put out the Synergy. Obviously, some of the collectors will jump on and go, hey, I know who that is. So, yeah, that's a nice bat, Tommy. I'll just read what Chris has to say. Hi, mate, you're a fathead. No, he's not saying that. Hi, mate. The GN Omega Special Edition given to me with a toe busted such a long time. Oh, so he's saying he's modified his GM Omega because the toe blew to make it a size 6 for his son. It picks up well now, not like before. Yeah, see, those Omegas, I reckon they were dogs. They had the combination of nice high spine, big edges, but when Grey Nichols were making the handles, then I reckon they weren't thick enough. They didn't have enough counterbalance. So, all that weight away from the hands creates a heavier pickup. So, a lot of people say with the Grey Nicks, put a second grip on. So, but then you're buying a 2.9 because you think you like a 2.9 bat and making it 211. I don't understand that logic. Mind you, when I was in my 20s, I didn't care about 2 grips. Now I'm in my 40s, I do care about 2 grips because I'm old and slow and all those types of things. So Austin said Matt's setup is amazing. Matt who are we talking about? Matt at Hell for Leather? Nichols said, isn't Paul now the heritage bat maker for Newbury? Yeah, he's definitely the face of Newbury heritage making. So the story was that John Len Newbury created Newbury, and then John took over, and then of his apprentices, which included Tim Keeley, the guy who went on to form Salix, Andrew Kember, obviously our guy Screaming Cat, whatever his name was, they were all John Newbery's apprentices. And that's Julian Millichamp. Julian Millichamp also trained James Laver, so that's your lineage there. So he basically took Newbery to where it was, the drop shoulders and all those types of things in the 70s and 80s. And then when Tim took over, him and his brother did some sort of deal with Newbery, the main body, that they were making bats, but as like a subcontractor. So I guess that's a way to separate the manufacturing from the actual brand. And something happened there, and Newbery had to separate from Keeley, who was their primary bat maker, about 2 years ago. So I think that Newbery just couldn't keep up. It's such a competitive market, and so yeah, Tim Keeley and his brother have gone on to form Keeley Cricket, and they still make for other brands. Pretty sure they were still making for blank bats, but I'm not sure now. But you will find some of the smaller bespoke brands will be Keeley bats. And then, yeah, Newbery has got two ranges. One is their, I don't know what they call it, their performance range. They're not here in Australia, so it's hard for me to comment on something I don't see regularly, but their performance brand was made by Stanford, and then the heritage bats, which are the ones that you have here, are made by Aldred. But I would wonder whether, if Aldred's too busy, whether other people take over. But if you go on Paul's private group, he's always got pictures of Aldred bats coming through for cleaning up and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess he's the person. People are going to comment on the live stream saying, no, that's not right. What I will say to you is that if you really like talking about cricket bats, get yourselves onto custombats.co.uk, the forum, and join in the conversation, because that's where the real guys are who talk cricket bats non-stop, and they're really nice blokes. Sometimes they can be a bit prickly, looking at you, fat cat, but generally you'll find out heaps of information there, so get onto that and do that. What do we got here? Tommy says that his Synergy looks like a Christmas tree. How is Simon May doing? Those Triple X you sent him were such a beauty. I haven't spoken to Simon, so I apologise. Simon's had a few medical procedures, and I haven't spoken to him. So yeah, it'd be nice actually for me to get in contact with him. So yeah, thanks for reminding me. What do we got here? DeLazy. Oh, it's been time. Missed everything earlier, just got home from indoor cricket. Okay, mate, cheers. Austin Roberts. Matt ADB, yep, got it. Tommy Carlisle, does Julian Millichamp still make bats? No. From what I heard, he... In fact, I reckon... what do you call it? Mental blank. Hang on, use my brain. I reckon Josh Gavin actually did. There was a period that he was going to do crowdfunding to start a bat making course up in Queensland when he moved up there, but it never got off the ground. But I reckon Josh Gavin actually went up and saw him and got some tips on bat making. Obviously, James Lavery knows all about Julian Millichamp's bat making because he was his apprentice. So, and James is actually he's taken on he's got not an apprentice now, obviously, but he's got Paul Young and two other offsiders. I know I'm saying Paul Young because I've obviously spoken to him on the phone, but Toby Richardson's there, and I'm sorry I can't remember the other bloke, so apologies to you. But yeah, that's the sort of lineage of bat making, is that you get to know who's the bat making. Somebody's saying here Millichamp stopped a couple of years ago back. Tried Kickstarter Fund Me, yep. Launch CricketBat, mate, yep, got that. Failed and disappeared into the midst. I heard that he may have hurt himself, but it's all hearsay. But as a cricket community, we do wish Julian Millichamp all the best, and hope that he's doing well now, that he's stopped making cricket bats. But his lineage and his legacy lives on, and yeah, his bats are revered. And if you can't get your hands on a Screaming Cat, then get a replica made, because that lovely full profile with the thick oval hand with the spine going all the way in is just a bat shape to die for. It doesn't have to be a modern shape. It can just be something like that. I think one of the Screaming Cats, Paul on It's Just Cricket, did a review on, and I think also Justin Mellett on whatever he calls himself, Cricket, whatever America, he did a review. Liam's going, got to go, catch you later. Cheers, buddy. There's a bit of a delay between when you write stuff and I see it. I'm actually going to head off too, guys, so I really appreciate you guys watching the live stream. So we've covered the ton player bats. We've looked at what happened to the JP Gavins. Thanks very much to Josh for doing that. The feather blade's gone, and I've answered a whole heap of questions. I don't know how regularly I'm going to do this. It does save me a bit of time, but it's not the quality of cricket bat review that I want to do. So you will still get reviews, and there are bats coming through. I've shown you one, obviously that custom-made Kookaburra, but there are more bats coming for you to see. And there are bat makers and brands contacting me about sending me bats to review, and that's really where I want the page to go. I don't really want to be a knock-in service. In fact, I reject a lot of bats for knock-in. The page is really about doing reviews for you guys. So thanks very much for watching. And I'm not, yeah, sorry, Nikhil, we'll get to that question in the next live chat. So thanks very much for watching, everybody, and I'll catch you later. This has been CricketBatInfo Live.